Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of RobertoBlake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today I'm going to talk about the logo design process and I'm going to attempt to explain it in under 5 minutes for you guys. I'm going to make it a lot clearer and concise than I think I did in my previous video, but I think it's also going to have some new information. So if you've seen the previous video, this is still going to be very valuable for you. A lot of people, whether they're graphic designers or their clients, actually underestimate what the logo design process actually involves and is. Logo design is not just picking a font of your choice, your favorite color, and then some image or symbol, slapping those things together in Photoshop and going off to the races to put it on your website and your business card. That's not how it works by any stretch of the imagination. Logo design is more involved than that, and this is not just an upsells point to say that it's worth more, because it absolutely is. But what you need to understand is that logos have to be scalable. So for a logo to be scalable, it has to be done in vector artwork. That means no Photoshop. It has to be done in something like Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw or some other vector program. Older ones are like Macromedia Freehand. A free one is Inkscape. So scalable vector graphics mean that whether it's a business card or a billboard, it's going to be super sharp and it's going to be crisp and it's going to be right. If you've ever seen a logo on a business card or website and it's super pixelated or grainy or it looks dull, the reason is that it was probably done in a raster program like Adobe Photoshop that really wasn't meant for logo design. When you see bevels and fancy over-the-top 3D stuff and glossiness and so on and so forth, that's Photoshop stuff and it might look cool, but when it's time to slap that on the side of a truck or on a billboard, it's gonna be a problem. So you need to be able to do logos appropriately, and that means using the right program. That means a logo designer who knows what they're doing, probably not somebody from Fiverr, is going to have Adobe Illustrator with the Adobe Creative Cloud or an equivalent program, and it's going to be vector artwork. So that's number one. Number two, logo design needs to be for print, CMYK, or Pantone process color, or spot color. This goes to something called digital print production, which I will cover in other videos. But the idea is that someone in logo design, one of the last things they're doing is the print production process, and that's if your logos are going to be on your business cards or your signage, the glass outside of your office, the sign hanging from the door, whatever it is. That's what needs to happen. It needs to be CMYK print. That is not the same as RGB, which is what displays on a computer screen. That's red, green, blue. CMYK is cyan, yellow, magenta, and then processed black. So that's what they need to understand and know. And if you're not a nuanced and sophisticated enough person in graphic design, someone who either understands it very intelligently or went to school and learned the formal process, the odds are you've never heard of those things. And so that's where bargain shopping becomes problematic when it comes to logo design. When it's time to do them for your website, they do need to be RGB, and they need to be about 72 DPI. This is resolution. Print is 300, web is 72. So those are things that a actual seasoned web designer will know and understand and be able to do for you. So the process for web design involves, one, being able to do the research, understand what the logo needs to be for the market, and that might include also understanding what typefaces are appropriate and what colors are appropriate. Your favorite color is irrelevant as a client. I'm sorry, it is. The color that's appropriate is the color that speaks to your market. It's what speaks to making you stand among your competitors correctly, but still stand out, but still fit on the shelf to say, yeah, that belongs here, right? And it also might have to do with your audience. Your favorite color might be hot pink, but if you have a 60-40 split of male to female in your audience and demographic, then that's not going to fly in most cases. You need a gender neutral color that will work for everyone. So you might need to go with a deep purple, or you might need to do with a cornflower blue or something like that. Just as an example, your favorite color is irrelevant unless we're talking about your personal brand, in which case it's everything. So I would say that a logo designer needs to understand that, be able to speak intelligently to those things, do the appropriate research, be able to communicate with clients, and that's a whole part of the process. The other part of the process is then going from concept, and that means the sketches, the typography, the color scheme, to the digital execution that we talked about in Adobe Illustrator. Then from that revision process of going back and forth with you over the digital execution to the final production, whether that be for print or for web, and then delivering the appropriate file. files. The appropriate files are often going to be PNG, which is transparent background, so you can put it on any color background you need to. EPS, if it needs to be for high resolution print and be scalable, you're going to get those source files if you're paying for them. And again, that's the problem with bargain shopping, is you'll get the flat files, the PNG, and not the source files, the EPS or Illustrator file. So being cheap excludes you from getting what you really need for the long term to be able to protect your logo and your brand. And then there's, of course, the assignment of the rights, that you own the rights to the image, because otherwise, even if it was that you paid them, the artist retains those rights to the image, and it's their copyright, not yours, if you didn't pay for those rights and it wasn't specific. So you need to get that in writing, and you need to have that understanding when you go in, and that means you're probably going to pay a little more. So those are things that you need to understand about the logo design process. I hope I've made that very clear and that you understand what logo design really is about now, and that's not as simple as, I like this font, I like this clip art, this is my favorite color, let's put them together and put it out there. That's not what logo design is. It's a very nuanced and specific process. It's very sophisticated, and that's if you want something for the long haul, and that's going to convert business and customers and clients. That's what you have to be looking at, and that means it's an investment. So I hope you guys understand, whether you're a designer or a client, a little more about the logo design process. If you still have questions, go ahead and leave those in the comment section below, and I'll try and answer them. I know I probably didn't keep my word about keeping this around 5 minutes, but I had to get the right information out there. I'll probably try and do a quickie video of logo design explained, and I'll probably try and shoot for 2 minutes on that video. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.